I'll turn that off for now. Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome to the Chiller Night pre-show. And I'm Bryan Hogue. I am the usual host of Chiller Chat. It's a weekly talk show that talks about the paranormal and horror and science fiction. We discuss things like movies and the paranormal, UFOs, Bigfoot, anything you can that might strike your fancy when it comes to the paranormal or horror. I'm also the host of Chiller Night Theater. That's also a weekly show that in 1 hour at 9 p.m. you can watch on Stream TV. I am the host of that. I'm on that show as Jack Shadow. So thanks for joining me here tonight. Now tonight, what I usually do is I go over the schedule for what's going to be on the Chiller Night programming. So I'll be talking a little bit about that as well as some other things. I'm going to pull up the schedule here on my trusty phone. And you can get this information also on Stream TV. So at streammedia.tv. And tonight at 9 o'clock, we're going to be featuring, Jack Shadow is going to feature The Wasp Woman. And at 11 p.m., Chiller Chat with guest Nate Reagan. And Nate's going to be talking about his connections with the Scream 4 movie. And so that's going to be pretty neat. And also on the documentary he was on, Still Screaming. They did a documentary on the Scream franchise. Nate was one of the consultants in that movie for the costumes and so forth. Brad Beckwith. Hey, Brad. It's the Chiller Night pre-show with Bryan Hogue, starring Bryan Hogue. Here's your host, Bryan Hogue. So, yes. Brad's actually the one who came up with the Chiller Night pre-show, so the title for that, so I appreciate that. Also at 11:30, Chiller Night Theater, Jack Shadow will be featuring Atom Age Vampire. And then at 1:30, a Chiller Chat with another episode with Daniel Doing. Daniel is the creator of the Fringe Knight comic book. So, and he talks to me about the Fringe Knight and his character there, and about the production of his comic book. So that's a neat one if you're interested in any of that. And he talks about the character itself, the Fringe Knight, and how he came up with that. And the Fringe Knight kind of fits the theme of the Chiller Night, the whole Chiller theme pretty well, because he fights against the paranormal, like werewolves and vampires and stuff like that. So that's kind of neat. 2 a.m. Chiller Night Theater. Jack Shadow once again features The Wasp Woman. Our feature movie tonight at 9 p.m. will be repeated at 2 a.m. So, and then you can find this information at streammedia.tv. You can either watch the show online, or you can go to that site, and down on the right side of the screen, you just go down and you can actually click and connect onto the Roku channel, and that's how I watch it. So I'm just looking at who's on there. Kevin, Justin, Lisa. Okay, cool. So we got some people on here. I've missed a couple weeks because I was actually on vacation, so I didn't do this for the last 2 weeks. I'm kind of getting into the swing of things again. We just recently filmed a couple of 3 new episodes of Chiller Night Theater. So very soon you'll be seeing, as soon as I can get those edited, you'll be seeing new episodes of Chiller Night Theater with myself and Ava playing Aura the Witch, and of course I as Jack Shadow, and Samantha Diener. She's been on Chiller Chat before, but she's been on the show, and she'll be Elle von Nacht. She's a vampire character on that show. So it's pretty neat because we have, you'll see, but we have a real casket that we actually got from from Bud Deal. I mean, this thing is from Oil City, and this thing, it's a real casket, and we have it set up in the TV studio. And so we have a vampire set, and then we have, of course, Jack Shadow's set with the throne room, and the castle walls, and the knight, and the statue of the skeleton, and then we have the chiller chat set in the TV studio as well. So a lot of chiller sets in the TV station. So that's pretty cool. So, you know, I wanted to talk about, one of the guests I had on the show before was Jennifer Sadler, and I'm just going to throw out the plug here for my book, Chiller Night: The Spirit of Halloween, which is it's a young reader's novelette, and it's about some kids who are just trick-or-treating, and they get kind of whisked away into the land of the dark domain, the land of the dead. And it's got some really neat illustrations. There's Jack Shadow himself. So, but it's got some neat illustrations. Jennifer did a great job, and the cover art is by Rick Whitlow. So, if you get a chance, this is on Amazon, Chiller Night: The Spirit of Halloween. And it's also available if you go to chillernighttheater.com. You can look it up in there and order from my e-store. So neat book there. And it's actually the first of a series that I'd like to get going. So I want that one to kind of pick up. I'd like to promote that one a little bit more before I rush out to get it more of them made. So we'll get that one picked up. Maybe that'll go well this October, and then we'll get some more of the books. I've talked to Jennifer about that. So, but we're going to be doing that. We're going to be pushing that. And kind of the neat thing I wanted to bring up here tonight. Now, I don't know if any of you guys, Ava got me this for Father's Day. Ancestry DNA. I don't know if you remember or if you caught the episode of Chiller Night Radio. It was called Chiller Night Radio, but Ava was on here, and we were talking about, now she and I both have links to Salem, Massachusetts, to individuals who were who'd come over to our country on the Mayflower. So she is a direct descendant of Rebecca Nurse, who was put to death in Salem, Massachusetts, under in 1692 with all the witch hysteria that was going on. And I have heard that I had a relative who was put to death as well. So I thought it was fascinating, you know. So I got this. I don't know if this will help, you know, with that, but she got me this for Father's Day, so I'm going to try this Ancestry DNA thing. I don't know. I had it out, but I don't know if any of you guys have done this at all on Ancestry DNA, but I don't know. I guess you submit a saliva sample and you submit it back in there, and you gotta go on and do this account thing, set up an account. I got some other people who have joined here, got some thumbs up. You always do a nice job at these. Oh, thanks, Dave. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. This one's a little bit more on the fly, you know. I'm shooting from the hip with this live presentation. But I do have an interest in doing I don't know if you saw my post yesterday. It's on my Facebook page now, but I'm trying to set up, you can see I have a green screen set up behind me here, but I'm trying to set this up so that I can actually do live chiller chats. You know, if you've seen the show Chiller Chat, you know that sometimes I do them most of the time I do in the TV studio, but other times I do them right from here with the backdrop of the TV set behind me. Now, what I'd like to do, and what I'm trying to do, and what I tried to set up yesterday, and I still have a long way to go, is setting up through some software. I'd like to set it up to where I've got my camera set up. I've been slowly acquiring all this stuff because I am not a tech-savvy individual whatsoever at all. Everything I do, I've been able to do because I've watched people over the years. You know, when it comes to editing or with audio, the lighting. You know, I actually have, I mean, this is my office. This is my home office, but I actually have this set up like a TV studio to where I could do shows out of here. And some of the TV shows I've done have actually been filmed from here. So, but this is kind of convenient too, because I can do these. I'd like to get it to where I'm doing a weekly live show, even if it's not. Well, I don't know how I'm going to do this yet. I would like to get it so where, you know, I could do this as a live show, Chiller Chat Live. I can have people calling in, and it'd be kind of neat. So we'll see. So, naming this. Brad says he's so proud of naming this the Chiller Night Pre-Show. So hey, I appreciate that. I didn't know what, you know. I just we got to call it something. So I like that. He suggested that a couple weeks ago. So I said, hey, let's call it that. That's what it is. The pre-show at 9 o'clock. You know, I start this at 8 o'clock because I'm trying to promote the show, you know, on Stream TV, trying to get the word out because, you know, we started this back in October of 2017, and every Saturday since October 28th, I think it was the last Saturday of October, we've had this show going on 9 o'clock until about 3:30, 3:45 a.m. every Saturday night. And now sometimes I get be the modern day Mr. Rogers. Yeah, thanks, Chad. I'll do that. Yeah. I'd rather kind of be the modern day, you know, Bill Cardell, but you know, Mr. Rogers. Hey, you can't go wrong with Mr. Rogers, right? You know, but speaking of Bill Cardell, what I'm doing with the Chiller Night Theater is a hopefully an extension of the old Chiller Theater back in the day, back in, you know, from 63 until 83, actually 83 on New Year's Eve into the morning of January 1st of 1984 was Chiller Theater with Chilly Billy Cardell. I used to watch that every Saturday night with my family. If you watched these before, you know that was my inspiration for doing this. It was never the idea. I never set out with the idea of me actually doing this as the host or anything like that. But I just wanted, Chad, I just wanted, yeah, just wear the sweaters. Okay, I'll do that. I'll get some sweaters. So I'll walk in and do the Mr. Rogers thing. So maybe I'll have an intro for next week. But I never set out with the idea of me doing this necessarily. I just kind of wanted that show to continue, and that's how my first inception of the show, Sleepy Hollow Theater, started out back in 2008. I've been doing this for quite a while now, you know. So we've been at it for 10 years, you know, on and off, but for 10 years we've been doing the show. And a lot of it was, you know, through Oil City, through Venango Video. It was called Venango Video at the time. Then it switched to WREC, and now we are on Stream TV. Now, Stream TV is Oil City's latest local access channel, but it's not just a local access channel. What it is it's an expansion of that. It's local access TV. If you're living in Oil City, you can catch the show. Will you be my Chiller Chat neighbor? Sure, Chad. Chad's going to be on the show too. He's with the Paranormal Voices, the Erie Paranormal Investigation Team. So we got to get you on the show here, Chad, pretty quick. But something shiny distracted me. Where was I? But that's what I've been doing the show here for 10 years now with Sleepy Hollow Theater and now Chiller Night Theater. The reason I switched over to Chiller Night Theater was when I had Chilly Billy Cardell on the show. Now this is kind of interesting. It's not information that a lot of people know about. I'll share it with you right now. Bill Cardell, very nice guy, and I got to know him pretty well within the last year and a half before he passed away. But he was very supportive, and he wanted to be a lot more supportive in what I was doing. He thanked me for keeping the chiller spirit alive. He thought that was neat what I was doing. So I actually met up with him. I went to his house. I talked to him about what I was doing here with Chiller Night, you know, theater. Chiller Night, the name I got that from kind of mixing Chiller Theater and Fright Night. Remember that movie Fright Night? So I don't know. I thought it sounded cool. So that's the name I have now. But oh, you like the T-shirt? That's cool. Thank you, Brad. But anyways, I started the. We'll have to get more of these, by the way. I'll have to figure out a way to get more of these. But you know, we have the show. We did this. I wanted to have Bill Cardell on the show, which I did. And when I had him on in May of 2015, that was when I switched the show's title to Chiller Night Theater, you know, an homage to Chiller Theater. And it was, Bill Cardell was actually going to be on a lot more of the shows. He and I were talking pretty regularly about this. And then 6 days before he and I were supposed to get together, he said he wanted to get on the, he wanted Jack Shadow to be on the set with him. So we were planning on that, for he and Jack Shadow to be on some episodes together. And that never happened because, unfortunately, 6 days prior to us getting together to film, you know, he had to cancel due to some health concerns. And then, of course, 6 weeks later, unfortunately, you know, Bill Cardell passed away. So, I mean, but he was very supportive of what I was doing. He said, "I want to help you out." He was going to have his own slot on the show for at least 8 to 10 episodes. You know, get me started, because the show was airing with on PCTV 21 in Pittsburgh. So, and now the show, if you've seen the show in the past compared to how it's looking now, you'll see some visual and audio embellishments on the show from Stream TV with Luke Rio and the Lightning Strike Productions. He really, you know, I love the look of Jack Shadow sitting there. You know, I built the set and everything, and I put together the costume. And oh, thank you, Brad. I had to share this pre-show to my Facebook friends. This show is amazing. Thank you, Brad. Thank you very much. And you know why I do this? I just kind of get on here to promote the Chiller Night Theater, because I'm just trying to get the word out. I also have the Chiller Night Theater YouTube channel, and I have all the episodes of all the newer episodes of Chiller Night Theater and of Chiller Chat on there. So at any given time, you can go on there and watch these episodes as well. But I think it's kind of neat to watch it on Stream TV as it's being streamed. I like doing that. That's what I do on my TV with the Roku channel. The Roku, I've got people in Florida watching. I've got people. Ouch. But I've got people in other states who watch. And speaking of other states, the show is actually airing on other stations in other states from coast to coast. And I'll talk a little bit more about that as the weeks go by. I don't want to get ahead of myself. So, but it is picking up some momentum here. It's not just something that's for Oil City viewers. I mean, it's getting out there. It's starting to expand a little bit more. And the show has been submitted for syndication. So that's why it's kind of getting out there. So a lot of neat, exciting things are happening with Chiller Night Theater and also with Chiller Chat. I had another idea with Chiller Night Radio. That was real, and I love that idea. If I could manage this and keep at it, I would love. It was a podcast, and I actually was filming it at the same time. So Chiller Night Radio, if you go to chillernighttheater.com, you actually, or the Chiller Night Theater YouTube page, you'll see a couple episodes called Chiller Night Radio. So it was different than Chiller Chat because it was actually submitted to iTunes as a podcast. I would like to pick that up again down the road because I love that idea. I would love to continue with this as a podcast, but right now, because I spent I ended up one day spending like an entire Sunday, you know, trying to keep up with this and trying to make all this work, you know. And I was able to submit a second episode, which I seemed to do quite well. I mean, I was able to do it. I don't know exactly how I did it, but I did it, you know. And then I thought, well, okay, I'll try to put the third episode. I had 3 episodes, so I tried to put another one on there, and I not only did not work, but it also deleted the second one that I just put on there. So now I have one on iTunes. So I thought, you know what, I'll stick to this right now, and then I'll try that again later on down the road. You know, one thing I didn't ask you guys, can you guys hear me okay? I'm using my Snowball microphone, but this is the first time I've had this set up this way, so I'm hoping you guys can hear me okay. Can anybody just someone answer if you can hear me? Oh, look at that, a little bit of blur. But are you guys hearing me okay? Hello? Maybe you can't hear me at all. I don't know, but I'm hoping you guys can hear me okay. Like I said, this is kind of a newer setup because I'm trying to set this up so that I can do chiller chats right from here with the studio look behind me. So we'll see how that goes. If I can't get that set up with my OBS studio, yes, it's perfect. Thank you, Ava. You can hear me good then. All right, good. That's what I wanted to know. And I have to fix this to where the the screen's getting a little blurry. I notice every time I look over here, and when I'm moving, I think that's the camera trying to auto focus. So, okay, cool. All right, Brad can hear me. Okay, good. Everything seems to be working well. So that's cool. But I've been having a lot of fun over this last year, particularly. I mean, I've enjoyed doing the show for the last 10 years, but it's really starting to kind of pick up momentum here within the last year since I started working with Luke Rio and Lightning Strike Productions and submitting the show for syndication and kind of really getting the word out there. Chiller chats have been fantastic. I've been meeting some really fantastic people. I went down to Ava and I went to the Butler Paranormal Conference in Lindora, Pennsylvania, back at the end of April, and we met all kinds of people. And believe it or not, I have some chiller chats that have already been filmed. I have some chiller night theaters that have been filmed. I just, you know, I haven't got to them yet as far as editing, so they're not finalized on the editing board. So as soon as I do, this must be delayed. Ava, is there a delay here? What do you mean with the sound? Is there a lag here? What do you mean by that, Ava? Answer me. Well, but anyways, I'll keep watching for your answer. But is there a delay, folks, on the sound, on the picture? Because this is the time right here. This is a very casual, you know, this is just me talking to you and trying to promote the show. So if there's a problem, you know, there's little things that I can tweak and fix over the weeks to come, then we can do that. Because I'd rather have this stuff happen now during the pre-show when it's just me sitting in my office talking to you than, yes, because I was answering you and it didn't come up right away. Oh, okay, with you responding, there's a delay. Okay. I'm going to try typing something here. Right, I did that just now. So this is how, I mean, this is the way we work this stuff out. So, okay. But this is how I'm going to tweak this stuff over the next months to come, and then we're going to be hitting it with live chiller chats. That's my plan. That's what I'm doing. Why I'm doing all this. Hey, speaking of chiller chats or Chiller Night Live, the whole chiller thing in general, we're going to have a movie marathon night coming up on Friday the 13th, on July 13th, Friday the 13th. We're going to have a Chiller Night Theater marathon on Stream TV. So more to come on that. More to come on that when we get a little closer to that. So, but some neat things are happening. Like I said, I'm excited with the show. It's really picking up momentum. I have some Chiller Night Theaters ready to go. New episodes have been made. They just need edited, put together, and submitted to the TV station. I have Chiller Chats that have been taped that have not come out yet. I have one with Top's Paranormal Investigation Team with Rod Fee and Annette Holmes. I have another with the Western Pennsylvania Paranormal Investigation Team that I did. One was in the TV studio, and another was actually here. I do some of the Chiller Chats right here, pre-taped, not live. But I love live programming. I'm just a big fan of live programming, and if I can do that live, Chiller Chat live, they all won't be live, but if I can get that going, I'd love to do that. Derek Dean, he joined. Hey Derek, yeah, I gotta get Derek on the show too with his book. I met him at the paranormal conference as well. So I met a lot of people down there, and I just actually have I have a lot of people who I've met down there who I have planned to be on the show over the next few months. So just a matter of trying to keep up with it all. So, which is a good problem to have. I've got a lot of people with some interesting, things, whether they've written books or the one gentleman who did a movie about Bigfoot, and it's kind of a neat book. Wishing for Giants, I think, is the name of it, and so that's kind of cool. He's going to be on the show, and we'll see how that goes. I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to actually going out on investigations with some paranormal investigation teams. Again, I've done that in the past. It was kind of neat because we went out with. I remember we went out with Orpit when we first started. When we first started the. Hey Daniel. Daniel just messaged me. Daniel. Hey Daniel, if you're watching this, you're going to be on Chiller Chat tonight, by the way. So hope you're watching the pre-show. You're going to be on the second Chiller Chat episode tonight. But we went out, Ava and I, and some of the others from the production or some of the other people went out with this group called ORPID, the Oral Region Paranormal Investigation Team. They're no longer around that I know of. As far as being a paranormal investigation team. So, but that was kind of fun because we went with them. We saw how they set up. I mean, they had so much equipment that they set up all throughout the building, the Knickerbocker Hotel in Linesville, Pennsylvania. And there have been a lot of investigation teams in there, and we got to go with them. And that was a pretty neat night. And Ava and I actually talk about that on a recent show of Chiller Night Radio we were on. We were talking about that, discussing how that went on all night long. I think we left at like 3:30 in the morning, and I had to get up at 5 in the morning to go to work, so I didn't get much sleep that night at all because it took me about at least an hour to get home. So that was but it's stuff like that Ava and I have done over the years for the show. We've gone kind of trying to go above and beyond, to produce content for these shows, for Chiller Night Theater and for Chiller Chat over the years. So, did I already show my Father's Day gift? Yes, Ava, I did. I showed the Ancestry.com, the DNA kit here. And I said, yeah, this is what Ava got me on Father's Day. So I got to submit my sample and send it back to Ancestry DNA. So that's kind of neat because if you were watching earlier, I was talking about Ava and I both. It's so interesting because on the night I met Ava, we were walking around and I had talked to her. I had told her about my ties, my Ancestry ties with Salem, Massachusetts, and she shared that as well with me, that she is the descendant of Rebecca Nurse, who, you know, if you know any of the Salem history, and anybody who's been put to death back in that day in 1692, you know, Rebecca Nurse was a very prominent member of that community back in Salem, and that's who Ava is related to. I don't know the name of my relative, so I don't know if this particular, you know, specifically will help with that, but I think it's interesting if it does, and I'm willing to try it. I'm not doing it just for that, but I think that that's kind of a neat, you know, thing. If that can help me find those answers, then I think that'll be pretty neat. Yet Terry O'Neill says, have the dog look it and send it in. Yeah. Yeah. See who the dog's related to, I guess. But yeah, that might throw him off a bit. But I guess we'd have to get a dog first. We have some cats. I can do that with a cat, but not a dog. But anyways, hey, have any of you guys been watching Chiller Night Theater? You've been watching Chiller Chats? Have you been enjoying the show? If you do, let me know. Let me know. This has been going on, like I say, for 10 years. It's about to really pick up a lot more momentum. It's been growing and growing. So if you don't know, I am local to the area, at least somewhat. I mean, I don't live in Venango County anymore, but I'm there quite often. I mean, I don't live that far away, but basically these are locally produced shows. So I had some people kind of surprised about that who didn't know me, and they were surprised to hear that the shows were produced by somebody local. And I have been very interested in TV production. And here's another thing. You might not have known this either. I actually produced a show called Dark Horse Championship Wrestling. I know Brad Beckwith, who's on here, he knows about that. But there was no Chiller Night pre-show for 2 weeks. Did I go on vacation? Yes, I did. Yes, I did, Brad. I went on vacation, went from Saturday to Saturday. So that's why I only left for 1 week, but that's why I couldn't do the show for 2 weeks, because 2 Saturdays in a row is unavailable to do the pre-show. So, but we went to the Outer Banks. I actually have a vodcast, one of the shows here, one of the posts I did, that I talk a little bit about that. So you wouldn't know it with this lighting, but I actually have a suntan. I was enjoying the beach and the sun, you know, quite a bit down there. I love the Outer Banks. So, but hoping you guys have been enjoying, you know, the show, and you know, I'm trying to get the Chiller Night brand out there, and I think things are really picking up now. The show, I can say the show's been seen from Massachusetts to California, you know, in numerous TV stations. So it will be picking up. DCW. Speaking of DCW, what I was getting at is I produced a show called Dark Horse Championship Wrestling that for 2 years I had on WICU. It aired on Sundays on WICU. They actually played it like twice a week, the same episode like twice a week, but that was its feature spot, was like 10, I think it was 10 a.m. on Sunday mornings. So, but that holy cow, that was quite a production. I thought I saw Justin Idol on here, but he was one of the wrestlers. I thought I saw him pop up that he was watching, but yeah, he was one of the wrestlers on the very first, actually the very first episodes that we did with Dark Horse Championship Wrestling. But this is something I really enjoy. This is not what I do for a living, for a full-time job. Well, not yet. Maybe I will. Maybe it'll turn out to be. You know, I was a little bit about me. You know, I was in the military for a little while. I got out. I moved to Pittsburgh for a while. I lived down there for about 7 years. I worked at the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette for a little bit. I moved back up into the area, into Venango County, and I was a Franklin police officer for actually a little over 13 years, and I now work for the government. I've been trying for a couple of years to land a job with the government, and so I now do that. That's what I'm doing right now these days. So, but I love TV production. I've had some haunted houses over the years. I haven't been doing those for. Last I did the haunted houses was in 2014. I know there are other ones that are going on now, but I'm not involved in those. But one of these days I'll pick it back up again. I'll get my I moved out of the area, just far enough to where it's not very practical for me to try to keep up with doing something in Venango County. So check, all the government cover-ups. Yeah. Or do I? All the secrets. Maybe. Yeah. But anyways, yeah, I wish it was that exciting, but not quite. Although, it sounds all fancy and sexy, to say I work in an underground, an underground facility and all this stuff, but it's, I could probably really fluff this up and make it sound pretty interesting, but in truth, no, I don't do anything all that thrilling, but I do enjoy it. I mean, it took me a couple years, about 2.5 years to finally land it, so I'm very happy with what I'm doing right now. Ava says, I haven't been able to get anything from him. Oh, yeah. If I know anything, I'm not telling. Little hard. So, is Elvis alive? Hey, I can't say anything. I've already said too much as it is. Yeah. So, I asked this question before. Have any of you guys, did you used to view the original Chiller Theater out of Pittsburgh? It aired from the 60s to the 80s out of WPXI out of Pittsburgh. And I'm just curious how many Chiller Theater fans we have. That was I'll tell you a little quick story behind what I do and why I do it. With Chiller Night Theater, that was a family show. I mean, yeah, it was horror movies and scary stuff, but you can only show so much, on TV. But that was just something my family liked to do, get together on Saturday nights, get the pizza, Mom would make us a pizza or something, or, get our popcorn and get our snacks and settle in to watch Chiller Theater. So that's why I do the show now. That influenced me, and I wanted to kind of pass something on to modern viewers, but something you could still sit down as a family to watch, so Chiller Night Theater. You can watch that with the kids, and if there's anything in there that you can't watch with the kids, I actually edit that stuff out. So I try to make it as family friendly as possible. DCW, I did Dark Horse Championship Wrestling, and also another show that was family friendly. Because I was a huge wrestling fan in the 70s and 80s, and my family used to gather around the TV set to watch, on the Georgia Championship Wrestling on TBS. So every Saturday. So that was my Saturday thing: professional wrestling and Chiller Theater. So when I got into the TV production, I did Dark Horse Championship Wrestling. It wasn't my first time doing a wrestling show, but it was the one that was the most recent one, and I did it. I did another one with a buddy of mine, Aaron Madden. We did a KICW, Keystone Independent Championship Wrestling. Briefly, we did that for like a summer, where we had some episodes of that going on. That was my first experience with professional wrestling. So, but that was a lot of fun. So I took what I learned there, and I did Dark Horse Championship Wrestling, and I was very proud of that. I thought that was a very, very big production, and I was very happy with that. I'd like to continue that, but right now, I mean, realistically, it's too tough right now with me changing locations and changing jobs. Too much has changed for me to be able to pick that one up again right now, for now anyways. I'm always looking to see if I can get DCW back up and running here, but we'll see. Gosh, I've missed a few of these comments. Have you ever, Brad Beckwith, have you ever went to the Erie Horror Fest at Warner Theater every October? I have not done that, Brad. I've not done that, but I was going to get Greg Ropp, who was kind of at the helm of that the festival, the fest. I was going to have him on the show, and that never. I'd have to get back with him. He agreed to be on the show, but we never followed through with it for whatever reasons. He was busy, I was busy. We could never coordinate our schedules at that time. But I haven't talked to him for years. But that would be interesting to do that right in Erie, yeah. And Ava sent me a heart, so she still loves me, which is good. Thank you. Love you, baby. Love you very much. Thanks for all your support. Oh my gosh, what support I've gotten from Ava over the years. I met her in the haunted house I was doing. She was a witch in my haunted house. Then we started doing the hosted horror show like months after that, and she was on the show as well as the witch, as Aura the Witch. And then coming out and supporting me for Dark Horse Championship Wrestling. All the support with Chiller Chats and just all the crazy stuff I've done over the years. So I really do appreciate that. There's a lot of support from Ava. So Chad Cornell says, unfortunately, numbers for that event are down over the last 2 years. What is it? Oh, for the Erie Horror Fest? Is that what you're talking about, Chad? Maybe that is. I don't know. I went down to the horror realm. Ava and I went down to the horror realm several years ago. I don't think they still have that, but it was kind of neat because we saw Jim Crott, who was the helicopter zombie, who's actually been on Chiller Chat before. We've had him on the show. The helicopter zombie from Dawn of the Dead, the original Dawn of the Dead. He's a really super nice guy. We went to his house and interviewed him, so that was kind of neat. Okay, Chad says yes. Yeah, I haven't been to this one in Erie though, and you would think I would have, but back in October when they had it, I'll tell you why I never got around to it, because I was always doing haunted houses. So back when I was doing the haunted houses, anything in October was out of the question. It was just too busy for me. So that's why in all those years I never did go to that. So see, there is a delay in comments, Ava says. Yeah, I'm sure. I don't know quite how to work those bugs out, but like I said, maybe this is the first time I've been using the webcam and the new the newer microphone, because normally I'd be sitting here with my phone, just doing this. So this is a little different. Horror movie. Chad says horror movie. Oh, a buddy. I didn't read the one above it. Like, oh, okay. And no, okay. Chad says, a buddy of mine plays a clown in an upcoming movie called Clown Motel. I will have to pass his info over to you. It's a horror movie. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, set me up with him, Chad. Maybe I can have him on Chiller Chat. We can talk about the movie. Or if there's not too much editing involved, maybe we can play it on Chiller Night Theater. I don't know. We'll see. But it's kind of neat because I've been introduced to like people from Kiss of Death production in Pittsburgh, and through them I've met some people in the independent movie circuit. So I've had some people on the show in the past, and I actually plan to have some more people from independent movies. One thing I was going to do with Kiss of Death production, I've mentioned this to them before, and I would like to do this. I'm just not sure when, but they seem to agree to the idea Diana, who I was talking to, I said, you know, I'd like to do a promotional thing where through Hogue Entertainment, who that's who does Chiller Night Theater and DCW, and you know, but I would like to do something to where we do a promotional through the show, through Chiller Night Theater and through Chiller Chat, and maybe have a contest, maybe have some kind of contest or something to where somebody actually gets to be on one of their, you know, movies, you know, as a, I don't know, somebody in the background, or maybe they, I don't know if they'd have a speaking part. I guess, you know, I wouldn't be in charge of that part of it, but you know, I'd like to do something like that. I think that'd be a lot of fun. How about you guys? You think that'd be interesting? Let me know. I'm always looking for things to do here. Now that the shows are picking up momentum, you know, I have a little bit more, you know, I can do stuff like that. I can make those kind of arrangements. So just to recap, Chiller Night Theater is coming on here in about 12 minutes on Stream TV. If you guys don't know how to get on Stream TV, let me know and I'll tell you. But I'll put, look at this. Right there's their website, right there. If you click on the link, even right below this one right here, click on that link right there, and that'll take you to streammedia.tv. Okay, that takes you to their website. And go there. You can either watch it online, or I've just made it super easy for you. You can either watch it online, or you can go to the right-hand side of your screen, and you just scroll down the screen a little bit, and you'll see that box with the Roku on it. Click and connect to Roku, and you can watch it on your TV that way as well. So Brad says, all I know, it was hot as heck outside. Yeah, it was a hot day today. It was a very hot day. Muggy today and kind of hot and steamy. And tomorrow, I guess tomorrow and Monday is going to be the same. So maybe you guys can sit down, relax in a cooler, you know, at night, chiller night, you know. So you know, get a cold beverage and settle down at 9 p.m. for Chiller Night Theater. And so, but I'll be signing off here. I can't believe I've actually gone almost 50 minutes here. These usually don't last that long. I got a little chatty here tonight, I guess because I haven't been on here for 2 weeks. So like I said, tonight was more shooting from the hip, just me talking. I enjoy this. Thank you for those who have you know, submitted your comments, and I can this is my way of interacting with you, kind of getting to know what you want. You know, what do you want to see? What do you want to see? If you want to see anything I want to add this too before I go, because I think about this stuff this early, because I used to be a haunted house owner. I'm thinking already about Halloween. You know, so if anybody has some neat ideas they want to send my way for Halloween, or Jack Shadow with Halloween, or the characters from Chiller Night Theater, let me know. Any specials you'd like to see on Chiller Chat for Halloween? You know, maybe me going out with a paranormal investigation team or something like that. If I can arrange that, you know, maybe that's something we can do. But, you know, send ideas. You know, let me know what you want to see, and I'll try everything conceivable to make that happen, you know, within reason. You know, don't send nothing too crazy, you know. just more Bryan Hogue. Yay. What is that? Brenton sent me UFOs. Yeah, okay. You know, it'd be kind of neat if we went out with some, you know, like a paranormal team or Bigfoot team or something like that, and actually we're the ones who filmed something, you know, or actually went out, you know, and got some UFO footage. That would be awesome. So, hey, you never know. You never know where something like this could go. But Chiller Chat was inspired by Coast to Coast AM, you know, the radio show. I used to listen to that at night. You know, it was late at night, and I'd watch that. And I thought, yeah, boy, I'm starting up this hosted horror show. It'd be kind of neat to stick an interview segment in there, which we did in between breaks of the movie. That's how Chiller Chat came to be. And I thought, wait a minute, there's actually enough material here to make its own show. So Chiller Chat branched off into its own program. And we tried to do that back in 2011. It actually effectively did that this year through Stream TV. So, but anyways, guys, thank you very much. I'm going to let you go. I'm going to probably fix myself a nice chilly beverage for chiller night coming up, and don't forget to watch and send me some feedback. If you enjoy the show, let me know that. Send me some feedback. I love to hear from you. I respond to everybody. Whether it be from the YouTube channel, from the website chillernighttheater.com, whether it be on Facebook. Get in touch with me. Just let me know if you like the show, if you don't like the show. If there's things on it you'd like to see or don't like to see, let me know that stuff. I actually, I listen to people. If you like a movie you'd like me to play, let me know. If I can play it, I'll be certainly happy to do that. So, all right. Well, thank you, Ava. She says I did great. So, thank you very much. And thanks for joining me tonight. And to all of you, I hope you have a great night. I hope you have a great chiller night. And I'll see you next week. Bye.